Adam, tell me, how are you involved?
So I came on board as part of the bursary, the Ballymun is Brilliant bursary project, to kind of deliver a project which is turned into a book, a kind of collection of stories and poems it was actually launched in the Axis on the 29th of August.
Tell me a little bit about the book, so.
It's a collection of stories, poems, kind of one-to-one interviews and group discussions that I facilitated and I presented all by the community of Ballymun.
So really it's from people in the area?
It's all people in the area, yeah, different organisations. There's probably a list of like 10 or so organisations that are kind of directly involved in getting this off the ground, yeah.
And what was the feedback of the contributors?
Well, I suppose I'm thinking of the groups that, you know, I had discussions with and I kind of interviewed them. I bought a microphone as part of the process and I started interviewing groups, and we were just able to have lovely conversations about Ballymun, and they're thinking about climate because, you know, like Hans was saying, before I kind of embarked on this, I'd be thinking that people from Ballymun aren't really connected on these issues, but what I was able to find was that people are actually doing a lot in their own way, but it's kind of, you know, it's more linked to being resourceful and kind of making the money stretch. It's never attributed to the kind of wider language.
You've been born and reared in Ballymun. What changes have you seen in the last 10 years or so?
Well, I suppose the biggest thing is that the flats are down and, you know, the regeneration happened. But I think, you know, Ballymun has always had a lot of green spaces. There's always been lots of access to nature here and lovely parks. And I think the big thing about this book for me is that I think the past of Ballymun is actually like over romanticised. You know, the flats and old Ballymun, and, you know, you'll hear that when you talk to people. And I don't know if it's like that in any other areas. But the special thing about this project for me was I was able to ask locals directly about where they think Ballymun is going and what they think about Ballymun at the moment, instead of talking about the past, because you hear so much about the past and so much art is kind of dedicated to the past of Ballymun. There's not enough about what's happening now and what could happen in the future.
So you'd like to look into the future?
Yeah, always looking toward the future, but staying in the moment as well of what's happening now. And there's a lot of exciting things happening at the moment, and we have a lot of very creative people here that have contributed their work to this book.